Then I shall begin. Once upon a time, in a large public house, in a beautiful Wiltshire village, lived a very unhappy girl. She had no rest and very little comfort. She had to work hard all day, day after day after day, wearing the same threadbare clothes, the exclusive Primark label now barely visible. The only comfort she had at the end of each long day was when she would sit near the fire in the kitchen, and rest her weary feet. That is how she came to be known as Cinders.
I'm so lonely. I wonder what life is like outside these four walls. I've heard tales of fetes and bonfires, fireworks and parties, and a Christmas tree with the lights thrown haphazardly all over them. How I would love to be part of this beautiful village's social life.
Poor Cinderella was shaken from her deep thoughts when her wicked and evil stepmother came down into the kitchen.
Cinderella, why are you sat in front of that fire when there's so much work to be done still? Your beautiful stepsisters are hungry, it's time for their tea.
Speak out into the mic, speak into the mic.
2 cotton chips with mushy peas. I'd like the chips to be crispy and the fish to be lovely and soft. I don't want the mushy peas I ordered, I'd want veg, none of it green. I'm going to order it in 10 minutes time and pick it up in 30, and I still expect it to be perfect. No soggy batter. Oh, and by the way, whatever the price, it's too expensive.
Cinders got her stepsister's takeaway ready and sat with it by the fire until they came to collect it. Cinders was not allowed upstairs to deliver the food after dark in case she was seen by any of the locals. Soon she heard the thud of her stepsisters Anastasia and Drizella's enormous feet coming down the stairs.
Where's my food then?
I do have my salts.
I don't, then we can shout at her.
Maybe we have a pipe while we wait.
What do you want? Sambuca or Jägermeister?
Shots! I mean, you look at the state of your cinders. You could do with holiday. Hang about that, you need to look after us, don't you?
Poor Cinderella felt more unhappy than ever. She used to have the mice to talk to. But apparently, the environmental health officer had taken a very dim view of their relationship. Mice droppings are not seen as comfort to some people. One bright morning, Cinders had woken from her terrible night's sleep on account of the next-door neighbours partying until the early morning. All she could remember hearing were screeches from the garden, which sounded to Cinderella as a chaotic mix of dogs barking, women laughing, and a guitar strumming. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door again and again and again. Only stopping to call out, "Mine's a large one." The friendly postman had delivered a beautiful copy of the Biddestone broadsheet, announcing a ball which was to be held in the village hall that very evening. Anastasia, Drizella and Cinderella's stepmother were jumping for joy with excitement.
Oh, Mother, I'm so excited. I have so many dresses to wear. Will it be Gillian McCartney or... I have too many.
I don't know. Maybe I've got to go for that posh spice number. That'll get the tongues wagging, won't it? You heard about that pilot?
What, the one on the Titanic?
I don't know, but he went down like it.
Excuse me?
Can I go to the ball too?
Of course you can, Cinderella.
Oh, no, you can't.
Oh, no, she can't.
Of course you can, Cinderella. Just as soon as you've cleared the tables, done the washing up, mopped the floor, and restocked the fridges.
Don't get
And don't forget to be up bright and early for the tray in the morning.
With a tear in her eye, Cinderella walked downstairs, back to the comfort of her gloomy kitchen.
Oh, how I wish I could go to the ball. Big vintage marquee, sparkling fairy lights.
Cinderella had heard there was one of those living in the village. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
We're closed.
I'm sure once you listen to what I had to say, dear, you'll open the door.
Not unless you've come to release me from this drudgery of a life. Oh, and have a ticket to the ball in a big dress.
Hold on, I thought I was the one with the magic. I'm in the right panto, aren't I? Biddestone, 21st of December. Is this the white horse?
It most certainly is not. I may be unhappy, but I'm not desperate.
So I'm here to tell you that you can go to the ball. Do you have 6 mice and a pumpkin?
Well, the mice have all gone thanks to the environmental health officer, and the pumpkin was made into soup earlier.
Cinderella, you really aren't making this easy for me.
The fairy godmother ran out into the garden and came back with 2 rabbits, a couple of feral cats.
No, I think it's this one.
Okay, the fairy godmother ran out into the garden and came back with 2 rabbits, a couple of feral cats, a small Jack Russell found wandering the streets with its lead still attached, and a pheasant who had somehow escaped from the morning shoot.
This will have to do. Do you have an orange? Honestly, this job is ridiculous. Austerity measures indeed. Bibbidi, bobbidi, do!
Before her very eyes, Cinderella was transformed and wearing a beautiful dress, and a beautiful coach was waiting to take her to the ball. Off she went in great excitement, whilst at all times, like all good Biddestonians, adhering to the strict 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. In the distance, she could hear the fairy godmother shouting,
Be back at the stroke of midnight, because after that your licence will expire and your clothes will turn to rags.
As Cinderella turned up to the village ball and popped her keys into the ball with all the other keys. Strange ritual, thought Cinderella. On the centre of the dance floor were her ugly stepsisters dancing away. The locals were all there too. Cinderella could do nothing but stare at them all. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger came towards her. Looking handsome and gallant, she lowered her eyes and heard the words,
Do you care to dance?
When Cinderella looked up, the dark, handsome stranger had gone, and a friendly chap was now standing in his place.
He's behind you!
Cinderella. I don't have a better offer this evening.
That's not bad, lot.
She danced all night, laughing and chatting to all the friendly locals. Her ugly stepsisters did not even notice her as she waltzed around the room. On the stroke of midnight, Cinderella remembered the fairy godmother's last words. She ran from the vintage marquee, off down the road, past the Christmas tree on the green, desperately wanting to stop to rearrange the lights. No time, thought Cinderella. She flew down the stairs to the kitchen, just as her dress turned back into rags. The next morning there was great excitement in the public house. Who had that strange girl been at the ball the night before? No one had recognised her. She was the belle of the ball, the talk of the village. She had left behind just one clue to her identity, a large front door key. Every house in the village had to try the front door key, just to see if it fitted into their door. Eventually, the crowd came to the last place anyone would think to find such a girl. They tried the key in the huge door. The key fitted. As the locals pushed the door gently open, to their surprise stood the star from the Biddestone. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on